Over the last 25 years, I've worked with thousands of trainers and facilitators that are learning how to instruct programs on sales, public speaking, and sales management. And one of the most important things I've learned is how critical it is for facilitators that are learning how to instruct a new program to experience it as a participant first and feel firsthand what it's like to experience these new skills and new exercises the way a participant does. It gives us more insight into what they're going through, and it can really have an impact on the way we facilitate when we're delivering the programs on our own. And this is even more true with SalesGym because our delivery methodology is so radically different. Most training is delivered with an explanation or discussion-driven methodology. SalesGym isn't done that way. It's delivered with a demonstration-first methodology, meaning that the facilitator gives demonstrations of the skills or frameworks in such a way that accelerates the learning pace of the participants. As a result of this unique delivery style, our programs are practice-based, not discussion or analysis-based. So once again, it's really important for you to experience that as a participant along with 3 to 4 other salespeople in your organization. With most of our clients, our training is built around a 10 to 12 week delivery time frame, and each session is 60 minutes of practice delivered once a week around a framework that fits into understanding and learning how to sell in all kinds of situations. So those frameworks cover things like starting meetings the right way, how to answer tough questions, how to ask disruptive questions that are designed around the challenger kind of disruptor model and also the consultative model, how to summarize, how to close, overcome resistance and objections, how to set up meetings, and other topics as well. And what each of these topics has in common is a communication framework that our practice drills are based around. In this demonstration session that you'll be setting up, we'll be working on one of the most important frameworks of all, which is how to respond to questions around our differentiating factors or what makes us different. This gives participants an opportunity to practice how they communicate their competitive advantages and value proposition elements, and how they respond to resistance from a decision maker, and most importantly, how they end their responses with open-ended and engaging questions. This framework has the potential to have a dramatic impact on the way we see the entire influence process, because most sellers think of selling in terms of what they're going to say or present. But this framework really helps them to understand that the most important part of the influence process is not what we say, but what we ask. So this framework applies to every salesperson, whether they're new or experienced or somewhere in between. SalesGym began experimenting with virtually delivered training long before the pandemic happened, because we realized that if you're going to stretch training out over a period of 10 to 12 weeks or longer, it's impossible from a logistics standpoint to do that live. The other thing that we learned is that in order for practice to be effective, it has to have a high degree of repetition. And that means the practice groups need to be smaller. So our training cohorts are typically 4 to 5 people that practice 60 minutes together and learn from one another. And this allows us to do a lot of repetition and practice attempts, which creates that incremental learning experience. What we often hear from trainers and facilitators about virtual training is that it's harder to get participants engaged, it's not as exciting, it's not as much fun. And that's something that we've really worked on over the last several years by experimenting with different delivery methods to keep it more engaging and exciting. And in fact, participants tell us that our virtual delivery method is actually more engaging than live programs they have participated in. So that's something you're going to experience in this demonstration session and then ultimately learn how to facilitate. And it's all based around a fast pace that's demonstration driven with incremental coaching challenges with each practice attempt. All right, so a quick review of the logistics of how to set this up. What you need to do is identify 3 to 4 sellers in your organization or with an organization that you work with that you can organize into a cohort that you're going to participate with. It's going to be 60 minutes in length, and you can work with your SalesGym coach to identify the right day or time that works for you. So your next step of your learning process is to set up that first 60-minute practice session with 3 to 4 other sellers, either in your organization or an organization that you work with. If you have any questions at all about the session and how it works or how to set it up, be sure to connect with your SalesGym coach.